see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Fuck with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on it and next. Fuck this up, I send you back to your ex. But good luck with that, this is big as it gets. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever. Yeah. Oh shit, they don't let me shoot a whole clip. Firepower in this coalition. We just turned the field into a demolition. It was desolate, but I had premonition. I was training for war every exhibition, every extra mission, every enemy listening. Get off my dick, I got bad intentions.
1, 2, 1, 2, coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. 1, 2, 1, 2, coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. And shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Yeah, ain't no errors, baby.
I guess we gotta start. We gotta actually enable our streams to get this going. I'm new to this. All right. You're listening to the PHP Ugly Podcast, episode 378. I am your host, Eric, and with me, as always, is John.
I am not clear what happened there. How it just stopped and then we were on.
If this is your first time joining us, we are a weekly podcast that focuses on the PHP programming language, PHP community, and our company, PHP Architect. Do you see a theme there? You should. If you want to be part of the show, you can pop into our Discord at discord.phpugly.com and feel free to participate. Great conversations go on in there all week long. It's not just this hour we're on for the week, but during the show, your conversations show up in the stream, and you have the opportunity to do things like title the show. The show is made a little better thanks to some sponsorship, honeybadger.io, and our company, PHP Architect, as well as some fabulous sponsors or supporters on Patreon. So we're going to talk about all of them a little later in the show, but for now, let's kick it off.
Look at Jeffrey Davison already jumping in there with title suggestions.
What's that? Look, he beat me to the punch. Damn it. Boys of Summer back in the swing. Baseball starts today for all the teams. You gotta enjoy that. I've been watching baseball. One of the cool things about living on the West Coast is you can see a lot more baseball. Yeah, even your Padres are playing right now, John. I don't know if
Are
you
they?
knew that or not.
I did not.
Playing the
You remember
Giants.
You remember back our first like 100 episodes every week? You had something baseball related with the number of the show.
Well, no, it was something with the number of the show, but yeah,
It was
there
often
were a lot
baseball
of
related.
baseball references. Yeah, yeah, I remember how much you guys hated that. That's all right. I was grasping at straws a few times, I'm sure.
Oh, the good old days.
Not only did baseball start today, but NorCal and SoCal kids had their birthday this week. So
Happy birthday.
they have officially, Discord. Make sure you say happy birthday to NorCal and SoCal kid. But they have officially aged out of mommy and daddy being able to be covered by mommy and daddy's insurance, which is a weird feeling. I mean, like, there's a lot of weird feelings as a parent that I'm sure all parents go through. And, you know, when your kids move out, that's more of an anxiety than a weird feeling. Like, you thought you were nervous about your kids when they lived with you, as far as like going out when they learned to drive. But man, now that they don't live at home anymore, it's just like this constant, you got to hear from them. But now that like they have to take care of, and they're both employed, so they have insurance. I mean, they have that ability, but like it just feels different. Like it just feels different. It's so weird. So yeah,
today would have been my sister's 41st birthday.
Yeah, it's
so happy birthday, man. Wherever you are, sis. Yeah, what's that?
Right. We're getting old. We're all getting old.
Yeah,
Somebody's got to do. Whoever's in control of time right now, y'all need to stop it, because like it's going. You guys have that thing wound up way too tight. It's going too quickly. I tell you, I can't. Like I was sitting there last night and I was like wrapping up for the night. I was actually finishing up some stuff for tech for our design team to work on, and I thought about it. I'm like, holy crap, it's Wednesday. We got to record tomorrow. I got to do like my show prep, because I do my show prep the day before now, since we record at 3:00. And it's just like, holy, I just freaking did this. Like, it can't possibly be Thursday already. It's, man. Tech, man.
Tech's happening in 25 days.
You guys got to slow that time down. You guys are too fast.
Looking at that, we're just ticked by earlier today. I was looking at it.
Yeah.
And that thing just doesn't stop.
Man. I'm getting like that. Like, I think I have to check into the ER nervousness about the conference, you know, because we hit that stage where there's nothing else for us. I mean, not nothing else for us to do. Like I said, I was doing some like, you know, stuff last night, but like so much depends on being there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the big things, and it's like, oh man.
But it is nice going through our list and like checking off, okay, this has been done, this has been started, like just feeling like we are on top of things. But I agree, there's so much to do, but so much that we can't do right now.
Look at that, under 30 days.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe it. So we have some announcements to make, though, right?
We do.
We have a new speaker. We got our final slot filled in the schedule. We had one 30-minute slot open. That, I mean, we weren't too worried about filling it. Matter of fact, we had a lot of people step up and offer to fill it, but we got somebody in there. My friend TJ Miller stepped in there. Where's he at? I know he's on here because I just saw him. I just sent him the picture.
Right there. Up. Like
there he is, right in the middle.
Yeah.
TJ will be doing a talk I'm very excited. I can't wait to see him. It's been so long since I've seen him. I mean, we've been talking on Telegram, but yeah, I'm so excited. So yeah, TJ, man, what a lineup we have this year. I am so excited to hear from. I this is just gonna be a good conference. I feel like such a good lineup.
I'm writing
So
to
yeah,
a friend to confess something real quick and see what they say about
what?
it. I'll share here in a few minutes, hopefully. That's one way to run the show, right? You just throw words out there and like, but I can't tell you right now.
It's pretty much on brand for us. Also, if you missed it, and it'll be in the show notes. Speaking of TJ, he did give his talk at Laravel Worldwide Meetup this week on his project that I'd known about for a while and hadn't told you guys about, but his project that he's working on called Sparkle. But it's a great talk
Is that
on
a
AI
little
in
flex
general.
right there? Little weird. Is that a little weird flex right there?
Oh, I mean, I'm telling you, I am going to become very good friends with TJ over the next. He's going to be tired of hearing from me because the guy's depth of knowledge on AI right now is fantastic, and I am just going to pick his brain clean. But yeah, he did a great talk. Yeah, it's good. Check it out. The link will be in the show notes for sure. And
any talk that has TF in a title of a slide's got to be good.
And if you happen to be at Tech, make sure you walk up to TJ and say hi and let him know that you watched his stuff. So.
All right. So what I was alluding to before, you can go back. Can you go back to the tech site on the schedule?
The what?
Go back to the tech schedule.
Yeah. Share this page. The schedule. Yeah.
The schedule. What I was getting the okay with, friend of the show Sarah is in Discord. We named our rooms, and one of our rooms we named the PHP Foundation Studio.
Oh, studio! I told them corner. God damn it! I gotta fix that.
Oh, for the signage.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do corner. Well, whatever you want.
No, I like studio. Studio is better. I'm sorry. I broke your train of thought.
No, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So it's all good there.
Yeah. Yeah, you have game night on here now, I see.
I do.
I think that was very smart.
Yeah. I really want to put more out. Like, I wanted it to be a separate page so you could see the events and have more context, because when you click on it, the link for game night is very small and it's just a description. There's no images or anything else there, but game night is a lot of fun. Just come back to the ballroom after you have dinner, you come back, we'll be in there playing games. At some point, somebody's going to say, I want to sing karaoke. And since we have all the sound equipment and video stuff in there, that ends up happening. Just socializing. And on Wednesday night, Tim will be running a Battlesnake tournament.
Battlesnake. Oh, man.
So if you're not going to be at Tech, please reconsider.
Yeah.
Let us know how we can help you get there.
Please make yourself comfortable, Kat. I mean, I'm not doing anything important here. Just climb on my chest and just go to sleep.
All right. Outside of Tech, how was your week?
I've been stressed.
Uh-huh.
I've been very stressed, but
that's par for the course. That's the way it goes.
I tell you what, though, it's times like this I really start to understand how good of a team we have at PHP Architect, because with the clients we have, and we have a few, it would be so easy for things to fall through the cracks if our team wasn't as solid as they are. And I tell you what, man, I owe so much to them, because I have been trying to get to a little effort that I've been trying to get to for like 3 or 4 weeks now, it feels like, and I can't get to it, and I feel bad about it. Fortunately, it's not holding anybody up because it's like this little side effort that I know the client's getting a little irritated by it, but uh, it's a little side effort that doesn't like block anything else. And man, it's just like I think about it and I look back because I do pay attention to what's happening with the client and all the efforts that are happening. We have a lot of plates spinning right now, and it's just so nice to go in there and just go through and say, okay, yeah, they did this, they followed up on that, they followed, we closed this, and yeah, it's such a relief.
You do have a good team. And they're all going to be at PHP Tech.
They will all be at PHP Tech. Are we going to show them different? Like, are people going to be able to identify the PHP architect people?
We're going to find a way. Sarah asked if we're going to have an uncon track. Yes, Thursday in our 4th track room, we will have an uncon.
Yeah, that's actually on the schedule. If you look on Thursday, it's there.
Yep. And if Sarah can convince her boss to send her, even though she doesn't use PHP, you should be able to do the same.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, that was great. A-Woods in Discord said, I really wanted to say Jill from Destination Linux was going to be the new speaker. So Jill, who is a podcaster, was one of the people on the social media team for Scale. And I actually, A-Woods, she is so popular, I couldn't even get close to her to say hello and to introduce myself. Like, there was not a time I walked around where she was not surrounded by people talking to her already. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not, just, I don't, I don't think she would have even, if I told her who I was, she would even have known. But yeah, she's a funny person. But of all the people I got to see a couple of PHP Tech speakers at Scale and talk to them and hung out with a lot of people. And she was actually one of the people I did not get an opportunity to just say hello to. So I feel bad. But Jill, if you ever listen to this, I was there. I saw you. I waved. You just looked right through me.
So, again, par for the course.
How about you, John? How was your week?
Oh, man. Again, just like you, stressed over all this planning, trying to get stuff done. Been working on a few different things. I was tasked with Google is doing new OAuth permissions. They've been teasing their new sign-in screen for a long time. They finally released it. Yeah. And a lot of that has to do with what they're calling granular permissions. So in the past, you used to be able to say, hey, I want access to this person's calendar. I want access to this person's email. And you got permission to act on that in some way. And we start getting hammered with email saying, hey, these applications may have issues. You should check them. And it's really, now I'm saying, hey, can I have access to the calendar? You have to, one, give me permission to your login credentials, not credentials, but your name, your email, the normal things for login. Then you're shown a second screen where it breaks down those permissions. So instead of just access to the calendar, there's now 2 checkboxes that you have to go in and check off versus, yep, this is correct.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think I had that happen to me, and I didn't realize I needed to check the box. Because you're so used to just saying, yeah, go, go, go.
Yep.
And I think I had clicked through it, and like whatever it wasn't working. I'm like, what the hell, man? And I realized, oh, you have to go in there now, check the boxes.
And if you don't check off the right ones, the app you get a token, so you think everything works.
Right.
But the token isn't good enough. And luckily, one of the places I was using the calendar thing, whatever permission I didn't have wasn't bad, but my point to the client was, here are your options. Leave it as is, and it becomes a CS issue, right? Because all of a sudden people start calling in saying, hey, this isn't working. So now you got to train them, or it's going to take developer time to change how the app works, because now you need to
Right.
check the whatever permissions you get back, and if they're not enough, you have to explain to the end user, you didn't give us permission for this, and here's why we need it. And it's just on top of the mountain of work already to be done to say, oh, let's add more work to the backlog. It's like, at what point do you get that done? Is it critical? So as of right now, the client is in the point of, it's not critical. CS can handle it. If it becomes a nightmare for them, we will address it later. So, little technical debt, just push that down the road as far as you can.
Exactly.
Always
Yeah.
happening. What else? I've been doing a lot of asterisk development. I've been in the asterisk PBX world for 15, 20 years now. And this past week got to do a lot more with it. I get to implement new features within the application using asterisk, and that's kind of my baby. I've been trying to teach other people pieces and parts of it, but for the most part, I get in there and get to get my hands dirty with it, make things work. So that's a lot of fun. Right now, it's super, in theory, it's super easy. We want to click a button in the UI and make a phone call out. We just aren't doing it that way currently. So adding new functionality is always fun. So I've been doing that. What else? Just every day, new things happening, new things to work on.
Yeah. Ever use FreeSwitch?
Yeah, we have another client that uses FreeSwitch, and I'm not a fan.
It came in from Discord, by the way.
Yeah, I see that. The only reason I'm not a fan is I'm just not as familiar with it. For me, asterisk is very intuitive, but again, I've been using it for so long. The client that uses FreeSwitch was already using it, and then we had to get in there and tinker with a bunch of things to when they got to us. So we made it work, but not as well.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So they came to us with an interesting, they already had the application, they had a broken Laravel app that they weren't happy with their previous developer. So we re-architected that and made it work. And then it was, now we need this, and now we need that, and it's a never-ending list of little things they need done, but nothing major. So it's not like, hey, we should switch to asterisk, or we should change, how this thing works. It's just there and it's doing its job.
Yeah. I had I don't know why I know why I won't get into it, but that made me think of something. I mentioned on the show a while back that we're dealing with a company who is going to create an API endpoint to support a mutual client of ours. So this is a client that uses our service and uses their service, and they've reached out to both of us and said, hey, we want your two services to talk to each other. So I'm fine with that, because it's kind of what we do, and creating services and consuming services is not really that big of a road bump for us. But the other service, it's not what they do. They have no APIs, and we actually they needed information from us, and because of the structure, they needed to create an API endpoint that we could call into and give them the information. And I had to, like I said, I shared on the show that you can tell that they're struggling a little bit trying to figure out what they needed. And they told us, they're like, okay, well, just tell us what you're sending us. I'm like, what? I'm not, you tell me what you need. I'll send you what you need. And
just send us everything, damn it.
So I had asked for some documentation on how to use their API, and they had done like this Word document that was like 1 page long. It was one endpoint, and I guess it was going to take care of all the requirements. So I pushed back a little bit. I'm like, this is a very light documentation, and I gave them a list of things that it was missing. What method are we using? Is this a post? Is this a get? What's the authentication? What do these fields mean? Like, they had all these fields that just had no meaning to me at all. So they come back and they write a book of a documentation. They clearly had outsourced it because it was a lot more structured, very long, very detailed, very much not in English. Fortunately, before I could even say anything, our client, caught it and replied to him, say, "Hey, can we get an English version of this?" So that's been so we actually got that yesterday, I think, or the day before yesterday. I still haven't gone through it. I need to go through that. But yeah, it's so funny when even like the Google thing you're talking about, like all of our applications are so dependent on outside sources right now that everything feels so fragile. Right? And you're spending all this time doing all this development, and there's just no way to factor in or to go to your manager and say, hey, we need to be prepared for this change coming down the road by this company. And it could just impact you so much. It's insane.
It's scary. Very scary.
At least big companies like Google, they have enough sense to they typically announce the stuff. But again, when you're using a bunch of services, you might not be following them all as closely as you need to catch some of these changes. But big companies, they'll make these announcements. They'll have migration paths, typically, or something like that. We've worked with smaller companies that they just wake up one morning and decide, oh, no, we're doing this now. What?
I've been one of those companies to some of my endpoint users where I make a change thinking, oh, that's no big deal. And all of a sudden they're complaining. I'm like, well, why were you using that?
Yeah, it's like, wait, you were using that?
That data shouldn't mean anything to you, but obviously it does.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That tight integration to different services is, like I said, just scary. And it was proven to us last year where our client was shut down because of outside factors. And when you're relying on a company like Twilio and they shut you down, what are you going to do? Like, we've talked about it plenty in the past, but we scrambled, brought as much internally as we can, but it's still, you still have to use outside services at some point. And we've been trying to be very diligent in having backups or using two different services that do the same thing and trying to figure out how are we going to balance that load across them to make sure that, you keep them both happy, you don't get shut down, but if you need to, you can fail over to one very easily. So that's been the focus as of late.
Yeah. And what helps when these outside services make changes that you're not aware of?
What's that?
Having a good monitoring solution, like our sponsors, Honey Badger.
Thanks to our friends at honeybadger.io for sponsoring this podcast. Monitoring, like web development, can be complicated. There are tons of tools and techniques, but you just want to know that your app is up and that your customers are happy. When your customers encounter a problem, you need clear, actionable intelligence, not walls of charts and reams of logs to tail. That's why they built Honeybadger, the monitoring tool we always wanted. A tool that's there when you need it and gets out of your way when you don't, so that you can keep shipping code, know when critical errors occur, and which customers are affected. Respond instantly when your systems go down. Improve the health of your systems over time and fix problems before your customers can report them. Honeybadger is the application health monitoring tool built for you, the developer who cares about a quality product and happy customers. Be the hero of your team and sign up for a free trial and start monitoring today at honeybadger.io. Setup takes as little as 5 minutes. See what you've been missing and fix it. Once again, that's www.honeybadger.io.
Thank you,
Thank
Honeybadger.
you, Honeybadger.
So in our Discord, Sarah Goldman is talking about how they're into 3D printing now. Oh wait, a lot of 3D prints. Wait, is that not printing, huh? That's
I
different.
think it's printing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Printing things to start moving stuff under the desk.
Yeah,
If I read that correctly.
I'm curious what hardware you're using because I'd gotten big into 3D about this time last year. I stolen the 3D printer from John one night when he was sleeping, and I broke into his garage and took his 3D printer, and got hot and heavy in it for a while. Then life got busy, and I had recently took like a week off work and had planned, and that was actually one of my focuses was to get all my 3D printing workflows together again, because I had a good little setup there for a while where I'd kick off a print in the morning and come in and work, but of course that's the week I got like super sick all week. It was horrible. But yeah, and now, especially now, so I have officially gone an entire week not on the electrical grid anymore. I run completely off my solar, and then at night off the batteries, and it's fun. It's funny because I have I assume it's like this all over the country, but maybe not. But here in Southern California, they charge you a different price depending on the time of day it is. It's meant for people to not like utilize the grid all at one time. So I think now it used to be like peak time was like at 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. The thinking being, this is the middle of the day. This is when everybody's running their air conditioning, stuff like that. But they realize, or I have a conspiracy theory that they realized that they were losing their solar people, because that's like the time of day where solar actually produces energy for your house, even if you don't have battery. So they mysteriously changed the peak hours to like 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. or something like that, 5 p.m. to midnight. And like I said, my conspiracy on that is they realized that that would let them capture all the solar people as well. But I forget where I was going. Oh,
well,
so with
I was gonna say they made that 5 to 9 p.m. that super peak or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Again, because of that, it's because all of a sudden you get this mass influx of people that are drawing from the grid.
Right.
And it's
I don't buy it though, because the whole thing about the daytime was that's when businesses, like almost all businesses, are working, right? And and I might be wrong, but didn't they change that super peak during COVID, like when all the businesses were like shut down? I don't know.
Maybe.
I probably read too much into it. I don't trust the utilities companies here in Southern California. So, but I will say, so I used to use things like, I didn't care what time of day it was. I would just use whatever, dishwasher, we do laundry. now that like I run on batteries at night, and it's like it's like you've gamified your life. Like you want to see how long you can go at night, how little power you can use. So, dishwasher, laundry, 3D printing, all that stuff is like scheduled in the day now when I'm producing way more energy than I'm using. And I feel like had I done that before, I would probably not have spent so much on electricity.
Probably, but the other issue is you're doing that now because it's new. Give it 3, 6, 9 months, and then you're just gonna go back to what you were doing before.
Yeah.
Like I used to, when I first got solar, it was every day looking at the app, and then after a while I stopped, and then I went and looked at it sometime later and realized I hadn't been getting any data updates for months because it was using a 3G modem to send data, which they shut down the 3G network. So I was like, nope, nothing there. And then I called the solar company to find out what to do. Yeah, no longer in business.
Oh, really? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. And I thought I chose one of the bigger companies in our area to find out, yep, they went out of business. So it's
Yeah,
still under warranty with the manufacturer, but the installer is gone. So if I ever have it,
right.
I got to figure out what to do from there. Luckily, I'm not dumb and know how to take a RJ45 jack and plug it into the thing. I just had to figure out how to dismantle it enough to find where it was at. The installers were supposed to run Ethernet cable from my office over to it, and they forgot. So they're like, we'll just throw a 3G modem in and be done. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Made sense at the time, right?
That's
So
it.
the company that is no longer in business, was it their software platform? Like even
No,
had you had done that? Oh, okay.
no.
So
It really was the 3G network being shut down. So
gotcha.
that they just had no internet connection to send the data out.
Right. Well,
Once
that's my point. So if you got the thing back online, you could still use it.
yeah,
Like whatever service that is still there.
yep, yeah, and I do have data now. Once I plugged in the Ethernet cable, I got one of those Wi-Fi to Ethernet adapters, so I could just
Mhm.
plug it in right next to it. It became a Wi-Fi hotspot for not even a hotspot, just it takes Wi-Fi and then turns it into a wired connection. Plug it in, and I was
Right.
done.
Nice. Yeah. I do like I was just telling the current wife, I think yesterday, I'm like, I can't wait till I get to the point where I'm not looking at the app every day. It is it's like I enjoy it, but also I'm like, I gotta stop looking at this because I'll see like especially at nighttime, I'll see the kilowatt number jump up. I'm like, okay, what do we turn on? What do we turn on? Turn it off, whatever it is. We're using too much electricity. And we're actually pretty good. Like we've got it now for the last week. We only use about 50% of our battery. Now it's like spring, right? We got a lot of sun. The sun doesn't go down till late, so that won't be the case in the wintertime when we don't have so much sun and it's darker longer. But right now we're using about 50% of our battery, which is really nice. Oh, yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about something, John. I wanted
What
you
is that?
to reconsider your thoughts on Tailwind
No,
because yeah, you might want to, because Tailwind, this is old news by the way. This was from last week. I just we had blown over. Let me I'll go ahead and share this with you guys. Tailwind is hiring for a staff software engineer $275,000
what?
USD. This is now listen, Tailwind's a great product. I'm not knocking Tailwind. I love Tailwind. It has actually empowered me to do some front end stuff, which I thought would never happen. But it's just CSS. Like you're paying somebody that money? Like
Fully remote?
really?
Nice.
fully remote. Yeah,
Oh,
fully remote.
Adam, I love Tailwind. I can't tell you how much I use it and just adore it. And please hire me.
John? Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, that can't be right. I think he added one too many zeros onto that, but oh, it's been up for a week now. No, this was from
Wow.
the 19th. Yeah, that was last week, the 19th. We missed another announcement as well. I'm gonna go ahead and bump that ahead of you.
What?
This was kind of crazy. What?
Well, before you do, I want to complain about Tailwind.
Okay.
I don't get it. To me, it's like adding inline styles to everything. I get annoyed when I go and add something new to the tech website, like a link, and there's no style to it. It just looks like the rest of the text on the page. And I'm like, links are supposed to be styled already. Why do I have to go in and put a class on every single link to say, nope, this is a link?
It's a utility. It's the philosophy behind it.
It's
It's
not.
just like it's so simple to use.
We stopped doing inline styles for a reason. It's bad practice.
You gotta stop saying inline styles because that's not what you're doing, right?
It is what you're doing.
You're giving there are utilitarian classes that you're using that do a lot of the work, right? So, like,
but when I have to type 15 classes onto every single div element, there's a problem.
That is all about implementation and how you implement it, but I still don't see that as a problem because once you have it styled, this was always my issue with Bootstrap, right? If I wanted to make a granular change, I couldn't because the fucking Bootstrap class would take over the style. And it used to piss me off that I wanted to change one thing on one page in one paragraph, and I go change the class and everything changes.
Yes, but if you want to change one thing, that's where the style comes in because it has a higher priority, and you can change that one thing and not use a class for it.
So I don't have a problem with this because once you have the style defined, at least the world I grow up in, the world I live in, you rarely go in there and touch it. I mean, I just don't touch it that much. I do bubble up as much of the style as I can in the main template. But really, I mean, when you're doing these pages, I think you're making a big deal out of nothing, to be honest with you, especially if we get paid by the hour. Who cares? Make it more difficult.
No, I think that's part of it is I don't do it for a living. So when I do go in and make a simple change and then it's not styled how I think it should be, that's where I have the issue. I understand that Tailwind CSS is great and everyone loves it. It was just every time I've asked, why is this one thing like the link or something else? And then I go and I ask ChatGPT what I need to do. And they're like, oh yeah, add these 15 styles. And here's what you need for here's what you need for rounded corners. And then you need this one for the size, and you need this one for the color, and you need this one for this. And yeah, that's where it gets to be a bit hard.
Yeah. I mean, and you can still create like classes. Like if you have some particular style you like for your boxes where you want the rounded corners, you want the background to be gray, you want the font to be a certain size, you can still create those like classes. I just don't bother doing it.
I think that's where I get confused because I don't work in an app that has it very well defined. That's been my experience so far is adding a bunch of individual little things versus taking the time to bring it up to, I don't know what you'd call it, a component or whatever within CSS.
Yeah, I like it.
One day I might learn it, but I don't like the front end much because I'm not good at it.
Yeah, that's me. That's my big thing. I'm so bad at the front end that when we work with our design group now, I tell them, I'm like, I need to be able to do this in Tailwind because that's the only opportunity I'm going to have to like fix things that I don't like about it. Oh yeah. The other thing that we missed on, this happened earlier in the month, but Laravel hired a ton of people. We talked about Taylor was looking for, I think, the COO at the time, the COO position. And my God, he sent out a tweet where he just hired like an army of people now, and some prominent names in the community, including Mohammed Saeed, who was originally Laravel employee number 1 or 2. I don't know if Taylor considers himself number 1 or not, but he was the first person that Taylor had hired back in the day. And then I don't know. I guess I don't know if he stopped working for Laravel or what happened, but like he kind of went into the background a little bit. But now he's back on board as the engineer and infrastructure support. Yeah, just a lot of people. So yeah, the Laravel Tailwind community, yeah, it's going strong. I can't wait to see who Livewire hires, because my goodness.
Are you
they're all
applying for that one?
hiring.
Developer
Just the
evangelist
Laravel.
number 1 right here.
Hey, I will say I started the hype train on Livewire, man. I started banging that drum. When I came home from, I think it was Laracon where I first saw it. Wherever I first saw it, I just couldn't get enough of Livewire. Yeah, I still can. I still love Livewire. So that was it. What else you got?
This one was just funny to me. I saw a previous San Diego PHPer, Annie Sexton, tweet out, Cores is actually just the name of the troll that lives under the internet bridge and eats URLs that can't answer his riddle. I thought that was hilarious. And then I love her handle, her Twitter handle. I guess that's what it's called. Is it different now? An X handle, Zandle? Anyway, that's what I used to call my sister, was Annie Banani.
Annie Banani.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Trying to
I
bring a little
remember
humor.
Annie. I was a fan of Annie. What's she up to these days? Up in
A
Portland.
lot of
huh?
JavaScript. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. She was kind of into the JavaScript world when she was coming to the user group meetings as well.
Yeah. JetBrains has released an update. Or actually, no, they didn't release an update. They were getting a lot of complaints of issues. And it turns out it was an issue with Apple itself. So I guess Apple released
What?
macOS 14.4.1, which addresses the issues that people were experiencing with JetBrains.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're on 14.4, upgrade.
We were just talking about being dependent on other services. Could you imagine building something that's dependent on the operating system? Like you have no way of doing anything, but you're at their mercy.
And then you try to point fingers like, we can't do anything about it. It's within the OS. And what are you going to do? Another complaint I have, I think last week I admitted that we had issues with our January issue getting shipped out, and that January and February would be coming at the same time. Yeah, I don't know what is up with the printer, but they shipped them out separately. So they shipped out January, and then 2 days later shipped out February in separate shipments. So our whole we're going to wait 6 months to ship won't work. Their system is so backwards.
I never even got January. Actually, I might have it. I live in our new house. It's like one of these communities where the houses don't have mailboxes. You have to go to a community.
The mail room at the bottom of the.
I hate it. I hate it with a passion. So I only check because I hate mail in general. I don't think in this day and age, why is anybody sending anything through the mail? But except for print magazines, which is great. So I actually might have it. I just haven't been down in the last few days to check.
I've gotten them both. Because people reaching out, and I replied to people saying, yeah, you're gonna get both of them here any day, and then they would reply, I got one. So this past weekend I finally got in touch with the printer, and found out they sent them separate. I was gonna say they're so backwards. I have to send an Excel file to them, and then they take that and they create orders out of that. And when I do that, I put in, your name and address, and then there's like a way to say you get one of these and one of those. I would assume those would be shipped together. It shouldn't be that tricky, but alas, it is.
Alas, if you're coming to tech, you will get a print copy of this month's magazine, March. Hopefully, if John and we can finish finalizing it this week.
It's getting really close, getting very close.
So is the end of the month, John. It's the 28th.
I know. Speaking of the print magazine, for our friends in the EU, I am working hard on figuring out the IOSS VAT and import duties and all that stuff that people have been telling me they're paying. So I'm in communications with the company trying to figure that part out now.
Yeah, and we apologize. I mean, we've gotten a lot of feedback on that, and we know it's delayed a lot of magazines to people. Yeah, John's working.
Not only does it delay, but it's like outside of our control. We ship the magazine, and then all of a sudden, when they get it, they're being told, no, you got to pay this amount in VAT and this amount in import duties. So their magazine all of a sudden is like $30 more. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That doesn't work. So hopefully we'll have an answer for that for people in the future that want to purchase.
I'm with Sarah in Discord. Did you mean Excel or do you send them in a CSV?
No, literally Excel.
Really? They process an Excel file?
It's got to be an XLS file, and it goes to XLS orders at company name.
Interesting.
Maybe they turn it into CSV. I don't know. I've asked multiple times, like, can't I hit like an API endpoint and send this data? Like, why do I have to do this through email? It's to the point where I've automated as much as I can. So I take our data into a CSV file. I then have to bring it into their XLS format, save it, and then I have another command that will generate the emails for me to the company, and then I just have to go and click send.
Yeah.
Because it is a pain in the butt.
Where are we at with equipment? Did we get equipment for the new room?
We have equipment. It was shipped, I think, and delivered. Most of it's been delivered anyway.
Oh, fun stuff.
When somebody makes a mistake and has a fourth track, all of a sudden you need additional equipment for that.
Whose freaking idea was that?
Well, we needed it anyway. We did the Uncon off your iPad last year, didn't we?
Oh, we did. That's true. Yeah.
So this year we'll be able to stream a little better.
Yeah.
The fourth track and the Uncons.
John tried to kill me today, but we had a conversation about taxes. Yeah, wait, what? How much do I owe? It's like, calm down. No, that's not what you owe. That's what we have to pay. On.
That's our taxable amount, not the amount of taxes you have to pay.
Yeah. Oh man, give me a heart attack. Jesus. I hate tax. I mean, I'm not one of these people that I'm saying I hate taxes in the sense that, I don't think the government should get any of our money. I'm one of these people, I hate taxes because they've made it entirely too complex. It's
right.
First thing, why are we doing it? Like, you guys already do the math because you come back and let us know if we did it right or not. Just fucking tell me what I owe you. Like, don't make me do the math, send it to you just for you to send it to me and say, yeah, no, you're wrong. It's like, dude, just send me a bill. Let me know what it is. But, oh man, it's, I'm horrible. And it's a blessing and curse that we're in a position to have somebody do our taxes for us because they're very official, very efficient, very detailed. And we get like these books of tax, of our tax stuff. And it's like, oh my God, there's so many numbers here. I told John, I'm like, just tell me what numbers I need to look at.
Here's the issue though. He has access to our books, right? He goes in there and he plugs all the numbers in, sends us a draft. And then I look, I'm like, oh crap, I didn't reconcile this information for whatever reason. Don't ask me. It was Diego Dev I didn't pay attention to last year because I knew we were shutting it down. So I
Mhm.
never went in and finalized some of the books, which is terrible on my part. I just didn't do it. So he did all this work, and then I told him, hey, can you go do it again? He goes and does it again. We're like, okay, Diego Dev's done. And then I go and look in PHP Architect. I'm like, crap. I have one transaction that I didn't reconcile from 2023 because I had questions on it. So I made him do it again. So PHP Architect, he did 3 times. Diego Dev, he did twice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Terrible.
we've literally closed the books on Diego Dev, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once he's submitting to the IRS, I guess now, once that's completed, I go and have to file another form to actually say it's closed. And if I don't, we have to pay taxes next year.
Yeah, make sure you
But
do
I can't
that.
do it until until the taxes are done. So it's like,
I have to admit, so I had come to a realization, and then I had mentioned it to John, and I was hoping there was going to be some sort of loophole, but he kind of confirmed it. Like, I'm a little depressed that we aren't founders anymore, because we were founders of Diego Dev, and that used to be one of the things, like founders and owners, or whatever. And with PHP Architect, it was an established brand well before even Diego Dev, and we own it, but we're not founders anymore. We and we didn't even sell our company. Like it's not like, oh yeah, we sold our company for millions of dollars and bought another company. No, we just like turned the lights off and just slowly walked away.
I do like the PHP Architect brand better.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I get a lot of people, and we thought about doing business as a DBA, keeping Diego Dev as the company and doing a DBA as PHP Architect. And John and I talked about it. I was like, nah, PHP Architect. We're going to ride and die with that name, and that's going to be it. So, but I do miss like having that founder mantle, or whatever word. Not mantle, not
title.
Yeah, whatever title. Yeah,
Something
moniker. Is that it? Moniker.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. All right. I don't want to call you out, so feel free to slam the door on this. But I do know a solar eclipse event is happening. Are we going to be broadcasting at a regular day and time, or are we going to have to skip a day at some point?
That's the week after next.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks from today. I will be on my way back home on that Thursday, so I don't think I will be home at that point.
So not next week, but the following week, we're probably going to skip, or I'm going to have to find another host.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am going to Mexico. I'm going to go to Mexico and hope for the best on weather. Hope it's not cloudy, and get to experience the solar eclipse.
Have you ever? You're flying, I assume?
Yeah. Well, we are doing the cross border, so we're going to Tijuana and then flying from there.
Right, which is a fantastic experience now. I used to.
You got a host in 2 weeks. A co-host.
I was going to say, Sarah, that means PHP Roundtable in 2 weeks. Because I have an opening on my calendar. We gotta get the band together.
Tijuana, you were gonna say.
Oh, so when I was driving down to Guadalajara, I had to get dropped off at the border with my luggage, walk across the border, jump in a taxi, go to the airport, and catch a plane. It wasn't terrible, but now, and I got to experience this a couple times with friends. I haven't traveled, but now you park on the U.S. side and you walk into the airport from the U.S. side. There's like a little border crossing right into the airport.
Cross-border bridge, right?
It
But you
is
have
awesome.
but you have to have a ticket and flying out of Tijuana
Right.
to go through
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So you actually
family
went
can't.
right. You actually went through the borders, like the regular border where you would drive through, right?
Right. Well, I didn't even drive through. I would have
Right.
the wife drop me off, and I would walk through, which was funny because when you walk through with luggage, there's like a little border check that they want to check your luggage. Yeah, it's like I was walking through like at 7 a.m. because flights are usually pretty early, and like the guy would be. It's just like a random table sitting out in the middle of this walkway. And the guy's like falling asleep, and I come walking by, and he just like opens his eyes and goes, just waves me through. I'm like, all right, thank you. It wasn't. So the better part about it. So what sucked with the way I had to do it is I had to do the reverse coming home, and the problem with that is the border crossing from the Tijuana to the U.S. is a horrible experience. Now, I eventually got a pass that allowed me to like go into an express line, but the first couple times I went, I didn't have that, and man, what a terrible experience that is. I don't know how people do that every day, but now with the bridge, it's super simple. Like you just walk out of the airport and you're in the U.S. and it's fantastic. I'm so envious. The first time we had that, I was picking up a friend. They called. And they said, "Hey, we're flying into TJ. Any chance you can pick us up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we'll meet you at the bridge." And we pull up, and they come walking out. And like, "Hey, what was that like?" And they were like, "It was simple. We just walked down the hall." I'm like, "There was no line or anything?" I'm like, "No, you just walk down the hall." And like, oh man, that's the life.
I'll tell you all about it in 3 weeks.
That's right. So wait a minute, do you know Spanish?
No, I mean very, very, very little. But
You're a
I'm
brave
not
guy.
just going to some hotel. I'm gonna walk outside to see the solar eclipse, and then get back in the pool in the ocean.
So
And
you go
then,
to like a resort or something?
yeah,
Oh, nice. Very nice. Well, you have a good time.
my mother-in-law's terrified for us, and she kept trying to change our plans. And I'm like, no, this is where we're going. I told you my original plan was I'm going to go to Texas to visit my brother. And then when I talked to Jackie about it, and we talked about the different locations, it's like, well, let's go to the beach in Mexico and have fun. not that my brother's not fun, but it's
Dallas, Texas, beach in Mexico.
Right. And it was going to be such a short trip, and it's like, let's go down there. And then my mother-in-law's bringing me over a phone. She goes, "You know where else it goes right through? It goes right through Texas. You know who else is in Texas?" I'm like, "We've already talked about this. I know about that, but we're going this way." And I told her I would just want to leave my phone. I wanted to be off the grid we're only going for a few days, right? It's like, I'm just going to be completely off the grid. I'm not even going to look into getting service in Mexico. Just be like, I don't have phone service. No big deal. She's like, "You're taking a phone. You're calling me every single day."
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not completely unfounded, but yeah,
No,
I get it.
Well, then she looks up, and there's like the U.S. is saying, beware of travel to Mexico, and it's like,
Travel advisories.
Yeah, they say that everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Everywhere there's an advisory. It's like, just be careful. don't travel alone. Don't go to the middle of nowhere. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
I told you. Well, I know we're running a little late. I've got to share this story. One of the first times I went down to Guadalajara, which is deep Mexico, that was weird because I was like, wow, I'm like if anything happens at home, it's going to take me a while to get there. I can't like drive there. It's going to take me a while. But the first time, where it's late at night, and it's that culture where going to dinner at like 10, 11 o'clock at night is not unusual, right? It's something. So we're knocking off, and a couple of the bigwigs are like, "Hey, we want to take you guys out to dinner." And this guy, so we get in this guy's car, and we're driving, and it's my first time, so I'm a little on edge, and there's so much to take in as far as new sights and sounds and everything, and you're just trying to take it all in. And it's late. It's like 10:30 at night, and there's a police vehicle behind us, and the lights are on. But the guy just keeps driving. The guy just keeps driving. And I'm like, okay, he has to know, like, the light, like the cop is behind us now and trying to pull us over. Because here in the U.S., if a cop turns on his lights behind you, he's telling you pull over. They won't hit the siren unless they think they need to get your attention. So I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, okay, he's going to either hit the siren or we're going to pull over. And then I'm like, wait a minute, he's like going down this dark alley and this cop is behind. They're going to kidnap me. I'm about to be kidnapped. I'm like, what is going on? So eventually I'm like, hey, I think this guy's trying to pull you over. He's like, no, why do you say that? And my boss, who is from Guadalajara, he starts laughing. He goes, he's American. He goes, he doesn't understand that they run their lights at night. I'm like, what? And the guy's like, yeah, all the people that live up on the hill, a lot of them don't have electricity. So if something happens, they look down the hill and see where the cops are, and then they go down and get the cops. That's how. I'm like, wait, there are places in the world that like do that still? Are you serious? He's like, yeah, no, that's how things work here. That's why they have their lights on, so everybody knows where they're at. I'm like, but doesn't that make it hard for them to sneak up on people? So it was quite the experience, man. That first trip was there was a lot going on. All right.
I was expecting you to say no. That's our escort.
That's gonna do it. I think we're good. I gotta cue things up now, huh? See, I always forget. What are we doing? I'm not sharing your screen. Add this. We're gonna cue this guy.
Episode 378.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even do our Patreon. Well, we'll do our Patreons after we close stuff up here. Yeah, that'll be it. Episode 378. I'm Eric.
And I'm John.
Keep
it ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They're getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
Eric sneaks across the border.
Yeah, now today's show is already titled. I should have told everybody. It's going to be PHP Batter Up or just Batter Up. I don't know. I missed the end of the game. I assume the Padres won.
Somebody said PHP At-Bat.
Oh, there you go. PHP At-Bat. That works. It had been A-Woods, right?
No, it wasn't.
Jeffrey.
No. Yep, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey? Yeah.
Yep.
I figured Jeffrey would come through with the baseball. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I missed the end of the game. I don't know who won. I've been like side-eyeing the whole game. Or the whole show.
Thank you, Patreons.
Thank you, Patreon supporters.
They won 6-4.
6-4. It was a good game. Good game.
Came back in the 7th.
Yeah, that's right when the show started. They were starting to cut. It was like 1-1, and then they scored a run or two, and then we started the show.
I started with my little league team for the first time yesterday. Yeah, last night. I bought a box of 300 baseball cards, and at the end of the game started handing them out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm not a fan of how we did it. Like, I want to make it more free flowing, not like we did it more when I gave out the game ball. The other coaches were giving out packs to the players that, were being positive or helping the other players or cheering, that type of thing. But they only gave it to a couple of the players. Now, instead of doing it like a trophy at the end, I want it to be more free flowing. Like, hey, thanks for listening. Like when we're doing our team meeting, because you get kids that are just constantly talking or being rude.
Yeah.
But for the kids that are listening, like, hey guys, here, thanks for listening, and hand them out so that the other kids might get the hint.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's stop. Tis the plan. I started giving out stickers too for similar reasons, like just sticking up their batting helmet. And all the kids like that, except one of them was like, I don't want that on my helmet.
I assume they're PHP Ugly stickers.
Of course.
I forgot to order stickers. You gave me that task yesterday and totally forgot about it. I feel bad that email I sent to our design teams. Like, hey, I got a few things I need you to do before the.
I saw that come through last night, and then they're like, "We're on holiday. Leave us alone."
Yeah. Oh man, that was.
They take their Easter break seriously, where we get one day. We don't, but companies
do we? Is our team off on Monday?
I don't know.
We should. We're so bad at that.
I don't know. I'm just so used to always working.
I know. That's my life, right? Let's see, holiday.
Yeah, that's what I was going to look at.
Holiday Gusto. What's that?
I always forget where to go look in here. That's my problem.
I bookmarked the link because I kept forgetting as well.
Policies.
Yeah.
Holiday.
No. Everybody has to report to work.
Oh yeah, Easter is not a paid holiday.
Easter is not a paid holiday. All right, I got
that would make tomorrow. Tomorrow would be Good Friday, wouldn't it?
Not to us. It's never a Good Friday when you're a developer.
I think that's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do that either, John.
Nope.
Bad people. I actually have to go. The dog is the pool guy's here. The dog's in love with the pool guy, so I gotta let her out for a quick second.
Gotcha. All right.
Thanks for hanging out.